Assalamu alaikum, welcome to 9 English News Edition in the Netherlands. The President of the Republic emitted the promises of a new Jubilee Utopia energy project. For international strike, Trump disputed the ceasefire in Sudan, Lebanon. Those were the headlines, and now come to the national head news. High-level delegation led by the CEO of Ethiopian Investment Holding was received by the President of the Republic, Ismail Geele, in the presence of the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resource, the Inspector General of State, and the Secretary General of the Presidency. The delegation announced the launch of several major projects between the two countries, spearheaded by the group, which will be implemented in several phases. The first phase involved the construction of a pipeline for transporting refined petroleum product from the port of Djibouti to the town of Dora, Douala, Ethiopia. The second phase will consist of establishing of a gas pipeline and oil pipeline for the export of Ethiopia natural gas and crude oil from the oil and gas field located in the Somali region or of Ethiopia to foreign markets via the Djiboutian transit corridor. Then the reiterated the Republic of Djibouti's unwavering support for the development project of the brothers nation Ethiopia. This project will benefit both countries, which will work together tightly to ensure the successful implementation of industrial infrastructure fit to the development. The Saad Omar Geele Dallas is central in cooperation with the National Social Security Fund, welcoming Professor Abdou Anyank, President of the African Society of Nephrology and leading expert of kidney health. This morning, upon his arrival, Professor Nyanke, accompanied by a delegation of nephrologists, was warmly received by the Centralized Director General Mr. Idil Yusuf Umar. This visit is part of the NFO to strengthen scientific exchange and also the sharing of medical experts. During a tour of the center, the professor was private on the modern infrastructure equipped with the latest advanced medical equipment. The center, including in particular University Dallas Unite and state-of-the-art water treatment system that meets the necessary quality and safety standards in kidney care. The center, including in the center, also posts a highly qualified multidisciplinary team, including a nephrologist, a specialist of nephrology, experienced nurses, and two senior technicians responsible for the maintenance of the dialysis machine and the water treatment system. The dialysis center's role extends beyond healthcare. It also carries a profound humanitarian dimension. It is a charitable and humanitarian endeavor that commemorates the late Saad Umar Jilal, who is a benevolent deeds and generosity continue to inspire and support the most vulnerable groups in accessing health care. Analysis and the history of the professor and expert in Abdou Niake.
C'est vraiment un sentiment de fierté, hein, et un sentiment de satisfaction que j'ai
In his speech, the Professor Abdou Niang said, "I would like to commend the considerable effort made by the Saad Omar Gile Dialysis Center in Tajura. The modern infrastructure, the quality of the equipment, and the commitment of the medical staff demonstrate a genuine desire to offer patients specialized care that meets international standards. The management of kidney disease is a major public health challenge in Africa today," he said. Through this type of initiative, Djibouti demonstrates its commitment to strengthening its health system and improving access to care for the most vulnerable population.
And now let's listen the speech of the Dr. Wassama Ousmane.
Aujourd'hui, c'est avec un grand plaisir que nous avons pu faire découvrir à notre...
For his part, Dr. Wassama Ousmane thanked the visit of the Professor Abdou Niang and said, "Professor Abdou Niang's visit represents an important opportunity to strengthen scientific and medical exchange between African kidney disease specialists. It will also help consolidate the center's technical and human capacity for the direct benefit of patients. Our ambition is to make the Saad Omar Gile Center a national and regional leaders in the treatment of kidney failure, thanks to high-quality medical care, modern equipment, and the ongoing cooperation with international experts. The management of kidney disease is a major public health challenge in the whole of African countries. Through this type of initiative, Djibouti will continue to strengthen its health system and improve access to care for all the population."
And now finally here, let's listen the general manager of the hospital.
C'est une très grande journée pour nous, pour le centre, pour la fondation.
The Director General of Tajura Dialysis Center, for her part, said it is with immense honor and great pride that we welcome Professor Abdou Niang and his accompanying medical delegation today. This visit illustrates the importance we place on developing medical skill and strengthening scientific cooperation in the field of the treatment of kidney failure. The Saad Omar Gile Center in Tajura continues its mission with determination to offer patients a high-quality care in modern, human, and safe conditions. Our priority remains to continue improvement of healthcare service for the benefit of the population. We will continue to invest in staff training, the development of medical equipment, and the strengthening of partnership with African and international specialists to further advance the management of kidney disease in Djibouti, especially in Saad Omar Gile Center in Tajura.
And now President Gile outlining key points of his new government's action plan. President Omar Gile presented this program yesterday Tuesday during his first cabinet meeting since the Egyptian presidential election of April 10, 2026, which resulted in his victory, presidential election and relation to the highest office in the country. In his address at the meeting, President Gile expressed his commitment to prioritizing inclusive development and ensuring that the benefit of growth reach the largest possible number of citizens. The President stated Mr. May conviction is firm. Economic growth is meaningless unless it translates into social progress. It must benefit everyone, reduce inequality and create opportunity. He then presented a comprehensive overview of the policies and action plan he has outlined for the country's development. He added that our understanding of development must increasingly including leveraging promising sectors that have providing the significant contribution to wealth creation and job opportunities. أنه my colleague Mohamed Aden is here. Good evening, Mr. Mohamed Aden. So a new term and a new government, but no really surprises in the list of names. Is this a strong signal? What does it tell us?
Thank you, Hinda. This is where the interesting point lies. The initial impression might be the same faces again, but in reality, this is a deliberate choice and even defensible. President Ismail Margelle has opted for a calculated approach to continuity. Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed remains in his position as prime minister, and the same figures have been assigned to key ministries such as defense, economy, and interior in a regional context marked by tensions in the Red Sea and unrest in the Horn of Africa. This is no coincidence. You don't change the pilot in the middle of a storm. What this government is essentially saying is we know how things work and we are not starting from scratch. However, there is a new and noteworthy element. 8 women are in the government holding portfolio that are no longer limited to social sectors, but also include health, the digital economy, and reconstructions. We are witnessing a shift from symbolic representations to strategic positions. This signals a genuine commitment to the principle of competence and merit.
Mohammed Adan, the first cabinet meeting was held yesterday, and the speech at the first government meeting. What does the speech reveal beyond the usually plasticity?
A great deal if we read it carefully. First of all, the overall tone, it was not a celebratory and a self-aggrandizing speech, no exaggerated satisfaction with achievement, no empty rhetoric, and the president got straight to the point. You have been chosen, there are high expectations of you, and now you must work. It is a speech that clearly focuses on performances, effectiveness, and evaluation. Furthermore, there is a clear structure to the speech which can be divided into 3 levels. The first level concern the immediate circumstances. Global turmoil, trade tensions, and geopolitical chaos are not theoretical and remote matters. They directly affect an open economy heavily reliant on external flows. The president did not downplay the issue. He stated clearly we must be proactive, strengthen our resilience, and protect our growth trajectory. He also called for the establishment of a dedicated task force for the people for this purpose. This is practical and realistic. The second level is the long-term visions. There are statements that deserve attention. Economic growth is meaningless if it does not translate into the social progress. This is a clear position. Managing the economy is not just about numbers, it is about people, youth employment, renewable energy, digitalization, and reducing social disparities. All of this falls under the logic of comprehensive development, not just economic performance on paper. The third level, and perhaps the most important, is methodology. The president introduced the concept of performance indicators, accountability, and a result-oriented culture. He also asked the ministers to work collectively and in a coordinated manner and not to continue working in isolation. He stated it clearly, bureaucracy must be eliminated. If this approach is actually implemented, it will represent a profound change in the style of governance and administration. Ultimately, this speech is a contract between the president and his government on behalf of the people. The final sentence encapsulated the immense pressures on every minister today. The people of Djibouti are watching you. You expect results. Don't let them down.
And thank you, Mohammed Adan, to join me
You're
in the
welcome.
newsroom. And now we head to the holy site, specifically here to Mecca, where the final group of Jewish pilgrims has arrived to perform Hajj. The Jewish pilgrims were welcomed by a member of the officially delegation responsible for Jewish and Hajj affairs. The final group consisted of 280 pilgrims who arrived in Mecca to perform Hajj ritually in the holy sites. The reception was held in the presence of Saudi officials and member of the official Jewish delegation, tasked with providing support to the pilgrims during their stay in the Holy Land. Within the arrival of this final group, all Jewish and pilgrims were now in Mecca to continue their Hajj preparation in atmosphere of devotion and spirituality.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم.
And in a interview, the deputy head of the Jewish Hajj mission, Professor Osman, expressed his pride and hospitality.
In an interview, the deputy head of Djiboutian mission expressed his pride in the hospitality extended to Djiboutian pilgrims, praising the effort of Saudi official and support team facilitating the pilgrimage stay. He also confirmed that all necessary arrangements had been made to enable pilgrims to perform the ritual in the best possible condition of safety, comfort, and peace of mind. He commended the excellent organization established to ensure a dignified and secure reception for pilgrims from the moment of arrival until reaching Mecca. Support and assistance team remain fully mobilized to accompany pilgrims throughout their spiritual journey. Thanks to this coordination, Djiboutian pilgrims are now continuing their ritual in an atmosphere of serenity, faith, and devotion.
After settling in, the pilgrim performed the Umrah ritual in an atmosphere of reverence and devotion. The Jewish pilgrims consequently the Holy Kaaba with tranquility and peace and performed the sa'i between Safa and Marwa, thus concluding an important stage of their spiritual journey in Mecca.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
On Wednesday, May 20, 2026, at 9 a.m., the Hassan Bosama Hassan officer hotel hosted an important military meeting between the Chief of the General Staff and of the Armed Force, Lieutenant General Secretary Sheikh Ibrahim, and the Chief of Staff of Japanese Self-Defense Force during an official visit. This high-level meeting was held in the presence of the high-level Japanese delegation headed by the Japanese Ambassador to Djibouti. From the moment of the official Japanese delegation arrived at the officers' hotel, strict adherence to military protocol prevailed. The Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Force warmly welcomed his Japanese counterpart, General Hiroki Shikura. The two high-ranking military officials then reviewed a solemn military parade, which included a guard of honor in official military uniform. The solemn moment continued with the playing of the national anthem of the both countries.
Capitaine Assaoka Qasim Ali, chef de piquet d'honneur, au Général.
And following this official welcome, the two chief of state, accompanied by their delegation, proceeded to the reception hall for an in-depth working section. The Japanese delegation met with senior officer of the Egyptian Army Force. At the opening of the section, the chief of the General Staff of the Army Force expressed his deep satisfaction with the preliminary conduct of the Japanese troops stationed at the Japanese military base in Djibouti. He commended their high level of professionalism, unwavering discipline, and consistent respect for the laws and customs of the host country. Noting that this steadfast conduct is the standing of the army force of both the nation day by day. Erike Shikura also praised the military technical cooperation which is based in successfully implementing in the area of military engineering, maritime surveillance, specialized training equipment, and the strengthening of the operational capability of the Egyptian Armed Force, constant of stability in the Horn of Africa. In keeping with the establishment norm and friendly spirit that characterize international meeting, and at this level, the meeting concluded with a highly significant exchange of gifts. The two officials presented each other with official military decoration reflecting their mutual respect, as well as exquisite handcrafted and cultural artifacts representing the historical heritage of the Republic of Djibouti and Japan. This gift embodied the fact that the relationship between the two institutions translated purely operational matters accompanied encompassing a deep-rooted cultural friendship. And within the framework of the Djibouti network expansion and rehabilitation project, a workshop was held to the Language Activity Zone 5 on Wednesday morning, May 20, 2026, at the headquarters of the National Union of Egyptian Women. The project, partly funded by the European Union and French Development Agency and implemented by the National Office for Water and Sanitation of Djibouti, aim to expand and rehabilitate a sewerage network, improve the sustainable treatment of collective wastewater, protect public health and the environment, improve the living condition of the beneficiary population. Through this initiative, the priority project reform its commitment to sustainable and participatory European development. An operational scene a few days after presenting his credential to the Somali president, the new ambassador to Mogadishu, Ambassador Usman Dubet Sugule, met today Wednesday with the Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Mr. Hamza Abdi Barre.
Just days after presenting his credential to the Somali president, Djibouti's new ambassador to Mogadishu, Ambassador Usman Dubet Sugule, met today, Wednesday, with the Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Hamza Abdi Barre. During the meeting, the Djiboutian diplomat convoyed to the Somali Prime Minister the greeting of President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margilian, reaffirmed his determination to continue working toward strengthening bilateral relations between the two brotherly nations and enhancing cooperation in various fields of mutual interest. For his part, Mr. Hamza Abdi Barre congratulated the new ambassador on his appointment and stressed the importance of further strengthening political, security, and economic cooperation between the two countries in the interests of both people. The Somali Prime Minister also asked Ambassador Osman Dubbed Sugule to convey his congratulations to Djibouti's Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamel Mohammed on the renewal of confidence in him. He further expressed Somalia's appreciation for Djibouti's continued brotherly support and praised Djibouti's role in supporting Somali state-building efforts and strengthening peace and stability.
Another international scene, new Israel escalation southern Lebanon airstrike targeted to dispute a ceasefire. From a detail with Egasra.
Southern Lebanon has once again been the scene of a major military escalation after the Israeli army launched several airstrikes overnight targeting the city of Tyre and its surrounding just hours after issuing evacuation order of residents. According to local source, a health clinic in the castle city of Tyre was hit by an Israeli strike shortly after the warning was given to civilians to leave the area. Several residential and commercial buildings were also damaged, while a main road connecting some part of the city sustained significant damage, further complicating rescue operation and the movement of residents. Witnesses report a scene of panic overnight as successive explosions caused power outage and prompted many families to flee to areas considered safer.
أنه قدر reject any obstruction of navigation in Strait of Hormuz.
Qatari Foreign Minister spokesman Majid Al-Ansari stated that no country has the right under any pretext to obstruct access to the Strait of Hormuz, emphasizing the importance of ensuring freedom of navigation in this strategic waterway. In an official statement, the Qatari official stressed the need to preserve the security of international shipping lane and to avoid any escalation that could threaten regional stability and global energy supply. The Doha statement came amid heightened tension in the Middle East and growing concern about the safety and navigation in the region's strategic waters.
Trump says he suspended a strike against Iran at the request of Gulf allies.
U.S. President Donald Trump said he was 1 hour away from ordering military strike against Iran before deciding to suspend the operation at the request of Gulf allies who believe an agreement was still possible. Speaking from the construction site of a new reception hall at the White House, Trump stated that Tehran had a limited window to make progress in the negotiation, warning that the military options remain a possibility should diplomatic effort fail. The U.S. president indicated that several regional partners had asked Washington to allow more time for the ongoing discussion, citing signs of progress in contact with the Iranian authorities.
That's it for this edition. Thanks for attention. Wonderful evening.